The reign of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent was a golden era in Ottoman history. Known for his military conquests, legal reforms, and immense influence, Sultan Suleiman elevated the Ottoman Empire to its peak. Amidst this glory, one name shone brightly: Prince Mustafa, the Sultan's eldest son and the most promising heir to the throne. Mustafa was admired for his wisdom, leadership, and popularity among both the people and the army. His potential as a ruler was evident, and many believed he would lead the empire into even greater heights. Born to Sultan Suleiman and Mahidevran Sultan, Mustafa was groomed from an early age to embody the qualities of an ideal Ottoman ruler. His upbringing was steeped in discipline, education, and preparation for the immense responsibility of the throne. As he matured, Mustafa gained a reputation for being just, brave, and deeply connected to his people. His charisma and abilities earned him the love of the Janissaries and common folk alike, marking him as a leader who could bring stability and prosperity. However, the Ottoman court was a place of intrigue, ambition, and rivalry. As Mustafa's popularity grew, so did the political tensions surrounding him. Hürrem Sultan, Sultan Suleiman's influential wife, and her ally, Rustam Pasha, viewed Mustafa's potential ascension as a threat to their ambitions. This set the stage for a tragic power struggle that would ultimately change the course of Ottoman history. The story of Prince Mustafa is not just about his rise but also about his tragic fall. It is a tale of immense potential lost to political manipulation and personal ambition. Mustafa's execution in 1553 remains one of the most debated events in Ottoman history, leaving a lasting impact on the legacy of Sultan Suleiman's reign. In this video, we will delve into the life of Prince Mustafa, exploring his early years, his role as a leader, the dynamics of the Ottoman court, and the circumstances leading to his untimely death. Join us as we uncover the complexities of power, loyalty, and betrayal in one of history's most powerful empires. Prince Mustafa was born in 1515 in Manisa, a city often associated with the Ottoman prince's training ground for future sultans. He was the eldest son of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent and Mahidevran Sultan, one of the sultan's prominent consorts at the time. As the firstborn son of the reigning sultan, Mustafa was immediately placed in a position of high importance, destined to be the future of the Ottoman Empire. From the beginning, Mustafa's upbringing was meticulously planned. In accordance with Ottoman tradition, he was trained in the art of governance, military leadership, and Islamic jurisprudence. The education of an Ottoman prince was no ordinary affair. Mustafa was taught by the most accomplished scholars, ensuring that he mastered subjects like theology, history, literature, and administration. His studies also included physical training, preparing him for the rigors of battle and the responsibilities of ruling an empire. Mustafa's early years were spent in the palace under the watchful eyes of his mother, Mahidevran Sultan, who played a crucial role in shaping his character. Mahidevran, though not the sultan's only consort, commanded respect in the court due to her position as the mother of the heir apparent. She instilled in Mustafa the values of discipline, humility, and justice, qualities that would define him as a leader later in life. As Mustafa grew older, he was sent to govern provinces, a customary practice in the Ottoman Empire to prepare princes for their eventual role as sultan. At just 14 years old, Mustafa was appointed as the governor of Manisa, a position that allowed him to prove his administrative skills. His governance impressed not only his father but also the people, who saw in him a fair and capable leader. During his time in Manisa, Mustafa began to build his reputation. He developed strong relationships with the local populace, earning their trust and admiration. His leadership style reflected his education and the values instilled by his parents. He was known for listening to the grievances of his people, ensuring justice, and maintaining order in his region. However, the palace dynamics were never free of political intrigue. Despite Mustafa's promising future, his position as heir was not without challenges. The arrival of Hürrem Sultan, Suleiman's beloved wife, shifted the balance of power in the harem and beyond. Hürrem's influence grew rapidly, and with her rise came a new set of rivalries, particularly between her children and Mustafa. Despite the brewing tension, Mustafa continued to excel in his role as a provincial governor, demonstrating qualities that made him a strong contender for the throne. His popularity among the Janissaries and the common people further solidified his status as the most suitable successor. Yet, as his reputation flourished, so did the jealousy and suspicion of those who saw him as a threat to their ambitions. Prince Mustafa's early life laid the foundation for what could have been a remarkable reign. His education, character, and leadership abilities painted the picture of an ideal ruler. Yet, in the shadow of the imperial court, forces were already at work that would ultimately lead to his tragic downfall. His journey from a promising prince to a victim of court politics is a testament to the complexities of power within the Ottoman Empire. The relationship between Prince Mustafa and Sultan Suleiman was complex, shaped by both love and the weight of imperial expectations. As Mustafa was Suleiman's firstborn son, their bond initially reflected the traditional closeness between a father grooming his son to one day take his place. Mustafa's early years were marked by moments of affection and mentorship, as Suleiman saw in him the embodiment of the empire's future. Suleiman's pride in Mustafa was evident during his son's early governorships. Appointing Mustafa as the governor of Manisa at a young age, Suleiman entrusted him with significant responsibilities, a move that demonstrated his confidence in Mustafa's abilities. This decision was not merely symbolic but practical, as Manisa was traditionally assigned to heirs apparent. Suleiman's letters to Mustafa during this period reveal a father who guided his son in matters of statecraft, emphasizing justice, discipline, and the welfare of the people. Mustafa reciprocated this affection with loyalty and respect. He admired his father not only as a ruler but as a man of intellect, faith, and ambition. Mustafa's administrative successes in Manisa reflected his efforts to live up to Suleiman's high expectations. His governance was marked by fairness and wisdom, qualities he likely learned from observing his father's reign. Mustafa's growing popularity among the people and the military only strengthened Suleiman's belief that his son was a capable heir. However, their relationship began to strain as court dynamics shifted. The arrival of Hürrem Sultan and the rise of her influence introduced new tensions. As Suleiman's favored wife and mother of several of his children, Hürrem sought to secure her own sons' futures. Her ambitions inevitably clashed with Mustafa's position as the heir apparent. Through her political acumen, Hürrem's influence extended beyond the harem, impacting Suleiman's decisions and perceptions. Hürrem's growing power sowed seeds of doubt in Suleiman's mind regarding Mustafa's loyalty. Court intrigues, often fueled by Hürrem and her allies, painted Mustafa as a potential rival rather than a dutiful son. Rumors and fabricated letters suggested that Mustafa was aligning himself with the Janissaries to overthrow his father. These claims, though unproven, began to cloud Suleiman's judgment, creating a rift in their once strong bond. Despite these tensions, Mustafa continued to demonstrate his allegiance to his father. His loyalty was evident in his restraint amidst growing provocations. Mustafa refrained from actions that could be perceived as rebellious, focusing instead on fulfilling his duties as a governor and commander. Yet, his popularity among the Janissaries and the public, ironically a testament to his leadership, was increasingly viewed with suspicion. Suleiman's own internal struggles further complicated their relationship. As a ruler, he was responsible for maintaining the stability of the empire, and any perceived threat to that stability weighed heavily on him. The fear of potential betrayal, exacerbated by court manipulations, began to overshadow Suleiman's paternal affection for Mustafa. One pivotal moment that reflects their complicated dynamic occurred during a military campaign. Mustafa's presence in the campaign was seen as both a sign of his loyalty and a potential test of his ambitions. Reports from this period suggest a growing unease between father and son, with Suleiman torn between his love for Mustafa and the doubts planted by his court. Their relationship reached a tragic turning point during the later years of Suleiman's reign. The accusations against Mustafa gained momentum, and the political climate in the court became increasingly hostile. Despite Mustafa's unwavering loyalty, Suleiman's trust had been eroded by years of intrigue and manipulation. The once promising relationship between father and son devolved into one of suspicion and distance, culminating in Mustafa's untimely demise. Suleiman's decision to order Mustafa's execution remains one of the most controversial moments of his reign. While some argue that Suleiman acted out of necessity to preserve the empire's stability, others see it as a tragic consequence of court politics. Regardless of the motivations, the loss of Mustafa deeply affected Suleiman. Accounts suggest that Suleiman mourned his son's death, indicating that his actions were not without regret. The relationship between Prince Mustafa and Sultan Suleiman serves as a poignant example of how power and politics can strain even the strongest familial bonds. It is a story of love, loyalty, and the devastating impact of mistrust and manipulation. Despite the tragic end, their relationship remains a significant chapter in Ottoman history, reflecting both the humanity and the complexity of ruling an empire. The influence of Hürrem Sultan on Sultan Suleiman's reign, particularly regarding his relationship with Prince Mustafa, is a fascinating and controversial aspect of Ottoman history. Hürrem Sultan, originally a concubine who rose to become Suleiman's favored wife, wielded unprecedented power within the Ottoman court. Her intelligence, charm, and political acumen allowed her to navigate the intricate dynamics of palace politics and secure her position at the center of the empire's decision-making processes. However, her rise also coincided with the growing tensions between Suleiman and Mustafa, a connection often attributed to Hürrem's strategic maneuvering. Hürrem's influence extended beyond the harem and into the realm of governance, an unusual achievement for an Ottoman consort. Her primary goal was to secure the future of her sons, particularly Selim, as potential heirs to the throne. Mustafa, as Suleiman's eldest son and the presumed heir, posed a significant obstacle to these ambitions. Hürrem's political instincts and personal motivations made her a central figure in the intrigues that ultimately shaped Mustafa's fate. One of Hürrem's key strategies was to cultivate alliances within the court. She aligned herself with figures like Rustam Pasha, Suleiman's Grand Vizier, and her son-in-law, who shared her interest in undermining Mustafa's position. Together, they orchestrated a campaign to cast doubt on Mustafa's loyalty. Reports of fabricated letters and manipulated intelligence suggest that Hürrem and her allies painted Mustafa as a potential usurper, claiming he sought to align with the Janissaries to overthrow his father. These accusations, though unproven, were enough to plant seeds of doubt in Suleiman's mind. Hürrem's influence on Suleiman's perception of Mustafa cannot be understated. As his trusted confidant, she had access to Suleiman during his most private moments, allowing her to subtly shape his thoughts and decisions. Her ability to frame events and individuals in a particular light contributed to the growing mistrust between Suleiman and Mustafa. While it is unlikely that Hürrem acted out of malice toward Mustafa personally, her actions were driven by a desire to ensure her son's survival and success in a highly competitive and dangerous political environment. The atmosphere of the Ottoman court during this period was rife with intrigue and manipulation, further exacerbating the tensions between Mustafa and Suleiman. The court was a battleground for competing factions, each seeking to advance their own interests. Mustafa's popularity among the military and the public made him a target for those who viewed him as a threat to their own power. Hürrem and her allies capitalized on this sentiment, using it to further their narrative of Mustafa as a dangerous rival. One of the most significant examples of court intrigue against Mustafa was the spread of rumors suggesting his involvement in treasonous activities. These rumors were often accompanied by forged documents or testimonies from compromised sources, creating an illusion of credibility. The accusations gained traction, not necessarily because they were believed, but because they aligned with the interests of powerful figures within the court. For Suleiman, these persistent rumors and allegations created a sense of unease that he could not ignore. The impact of Hürrem's influence and court intrigue on Mustafa's relationship with Suleiman was profound. What began as a bond of mutual respect and affection was gradually eroded by suspicion and mistrust. Suleiman, torn between his love for his son and his responsibility as a ruler, found himself increasingly isolated in his decision-making. The weight of maintaining the empire's stability and the fear of potential betrayal led him to rely more heavily on the counsel of figures like Herm and Rustam Pasha, whose interests were often at odds with Mustafa's. Despite these challenges, Mustafa remained steadfast in his loyalty to his father. His restraint in the face of provocations and his continued dedication to his duties as a governor and commander are testaments to his character. However, his popularity and competence, which should have been assets, were perceived as threats in the volatile environment of the court. Mustafa's ability to inspire loyalty among the Janissaries and the public, while indicative of his leadership qualities, also made him a target for those seeking to diminish his influence. The tragic culmination of these events was Mustafa's execution, a decision that remains one of the most debated aspects of Suleiman's reign. Hürrem's role in this outcome is a subject of ongoing historical analysis. While some view her as a scheming figure whose actions directly led to Mustafa's downfall, others argue that she was simply navigating a system that demanded ruthless pragmatism. Regardless of her intentions, her influence on Suleiman and the court played a significant role in shaping the circumstances that led to Mustafa's tragic end. In retrospect, The story of Hürrem Sultan and the court intrigue surrounding Mustafa highlights the complexities of power, loyalty, and family dynamics in the Ottoman Empire. It is a reminder of the human struggles behind the grand narratives of history, where love and ambition often collide with devastating consequences. While Hürrem's legacy is a mixture of admiration and controversy, her role in this chapter of Ottoman history underscores the enduring impact of individual agency within the broader currents of empire and politics. Prince Mustafa, the eldest son of Sultan Suleiman, was not only a promising heir to the Ottoman throne but also a figure deeply admired by both the army and the general populace. His charisma, competence, and sense of justice earned him a unique place in the hearts of those he governed and commanded. Mustafa's ability to connect with the people, combined with his impressive military leadership, made him a standout figure in an empire that valued strength and wisdom in its rulers. Mustafa's early appointments as a governor played a key role in establishing his reputation. Governing important provinces such as Manisa and later Amasya, he demonstrated exceptional administrative skills, earning the loyalty of local populations. His policies were marked by fairness and a genuine concern for the well-being of his subjects. Farmers, merchants, and local leaders often praised his commitment to resolving disputes and addressing grievances, which fostered a sense of trust and admiration among the people. In addition to his administrative successes, Mustafa's military leadership further solidified his popularity. He was a natural commander who shared the battlefield with his troops, earning their respect through his bravery and strategic acumen. Mustafa's ability to inspire confidence in his soldiers was evident in the loyalty he commanded among the Janissaries, the elite military corps of the Ottoman Empire. The Janissaries, who played a significant role in the empire's military and political landscape, viewed Mustafa as a capable and just leader who could bring glory to the Ottoman dynasty. Mustafa's popularity extended beyond his professional achievements. His personal qualities, humility, kindness, and a deep respect for Islamic principles, resonated with the Ottoman people. He was often described as approachable and compassionate, a prince who genuinely cared for his subjects. His commitment to justice and adherence to Islamic values earned him a reputation as a ruler who would embody the ideals of a just and prosperous empire. This widespread admiration for Mustafa, however, became a double-edged sword. His growing influence and the loyalty he commanded among the Janissaries and the people created unease within the Ottoman court. For Sultan Suleiman, Mustafa's popularity was both a testament to his success as a father and ruler and a potential threat to the delicate balance of power within the empire. The very qualities that made Mustafa an ideal heir also positioned him as a figure of concern in a court rife with intrigue and ambition. Mustafa's relationship with the Janissaries was particularly significant. As the empire's most powerful military institution, the Janissaries held considerable sway over the succession process. Their vocal support for Mustafa fueled speculation that they might intervene on his behalf if tensions within the court escalated. This perception of Mustafa as a potential rallying point for dissent, whether justified or not, added to the challenges he faced. The public's unwavering support for Mustafa also highlighted a growing divide within the empire. Many saw him as a beacon of hope, a leader who could restore the values of justice and fairness that they felt were being overshadowed by palace intrigue and political maneuvering. The people's admiration for Mustafa was not just a reflection of his character but also an expression of their aspirations for the future of the Ottoman Empire. Despite the challenges he faced, Mustafa remained committed to his duties as a prince and governor. He continued to uphold the values that had earned him the respect of his people, refusing to compromise his integrity even as the political landscape around him grew increasingly hostile. His ability to maintain his dignity and sense of purpose in the face of adversity is a testament to his strength of character and dedication to the principles of leadership. In retrospect, Mustafa's popularity among the army and people stands as a powerful testament to his potential as a ruler. His ability to inspire loyalty and admiration across different segments of Ottoman society highlights the qualities that made him a remarkable figure in the empire's history. While his tragic end underscores the complexities of power and politics, Mustafa's legacy endures as a symbol of hope, courage, and the enduring impact of true leadership. Prince Mustafa's life, marked by promise and popularity, met a tragic and controversial end, a moment that continues to be one of the most debated episodes in Ottoman history. The circumstances surrounding his execution were steeped in palace intrigue, political maneuvering, and the complexities of an empire struggling to maintain its balance of power. Mustafa's downfall began with the growing influence of Hürrem Sultan, Sultan Suleiman's favorite consort and eventual wife. Hürrem's ambitions for her own sons to ascend the throne placed Mustafa in direct opposition to her plans. Her close alliance with Grand Vizier Rustam Pasha, a shrewd and cunning politician, created a powerful coalition determined to remove Mustafa from the line of succession. The Janissaries and the public's unwavering support for Mustafa only heightened the perceived threat he posed to Hürrem's aspirations. Mustafa's popularity and the loyalty he commanded among the army painted him as a potential challenger to Sultan Suleiman's authority, even if such claims were unfounded. This fear of rebellion became the foundation of the accusations leveled against him. Rustam Pasha played a pivotal role in Mustafa's tragic demise. Using his position as Grand Vizier, he carefully planted seeds of doubt in Sultan Suleiman's mind about Mustafa's intentions. Reports of fabricated conspiracies and letters falsely attributed to Mustafa, allegedly seeking support from the Persian Safavid Empire, were presented as evidence of treason. These accusations, combined with whispers of Mustafa's growing power, convinced Suleiman that his son could one day rise against him. Suleiman's deep love for Mustafa made the situation even more tragic. Despite the doubts instilled in his heart, the Sultan grappled with the decision, torn between his role as a father and his duty as a ruler. For days, he deliberated, seeking clarity on whether Mustafa's loyalty had truly wavered or if he was being misled by those around him. Suleiman's ultimate decision, however, was influenced by the political culture of the time, which emphasized the preservation of the state above all else, even familial bonds. The fateful encounter took place in 1553 during the Sultan's campaign in Konya. Mustafa was summoned to his father's tent, unaware of the betrayal awaiting him. Accounts describe him walking confidently, believing he was meeting his father to discuss military matters. Instead, he was ambushed by executioners wielding a silken cord, the traditional method of execution for Ottoman royalty. Mustafa fought valiantly against his captors, but the outcome was inevitable. The aftermath of Mustafa's execution sent shockwaves through the empire. The Janissaries, who had long supported him, were devastated and openly mourned his loss. Many viewed his death as an unjust act, driven by palace conspiracies rather than genuine treachery. Riots broke out in some parts of the empire, as the people expressed their grief and outrage over the loss of a prince they had seen as a beacon of hope. Suleiman himself was deeply affected by Mustafa's death. While he publicly justified his actions as necessary for the state's stability, personal accounts and poetry attributed to the Sultan suggest a man tormented by guilt and sorrow. One of his most famous poems, believed to be written in the aftermath of Mustafa's execution, reflects a profound sense of loss and regret. The world is a carcass, and those who seek it are dogs. The tragedy of Mustafa's death also highlighted the darker side of Ottoman politics. The principle of Nizam-i-Alem, order of the world, justified the execution of potential rivals to ensure the empire's stability, even if those rivals were the Sultan's own children. This practice, while controversial, was seen as a necessary evil to prevent civil war and preserve the Ottoman dynasty. Mustafa's case, however, stood out for the level of manipulation and intrigue involved, casting a shadow over the court's integrity. Hürrem Sultan and Rustam Pasha, often blamed for orchestrating Mustafa's demise, faced their own share of public backlash. Though Hürrem's influence remained strong, her reputation among the people was irreparably damaged. Rustam Pasha, temporarily removed from his position as Grand Vizier, also suffered from the fallout, though he would later return to power. Mustafa's death marked a turning point in Ottoman history. It not only underscored the brutal realities of power but also served as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and palace intrigue. His absence created a void in the empire's leadership, one that many believed was filled by less capable successors. In the years that followed, Mustafa's name became a symbol of justice and hope. His story was immortalized in folk songs, poetry, and historical accounts, preserving his legacy as a prince who embodied the virtues of courage, wisdom, and compassion. Despite his untimely end, Mustafa's memory lived on in the hearts of the people, a testament to his profound impact on the empire he never got the chance to lead. The tragedy of Prince Mustafa serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of leadership and the human cost of political ambition. His life and death continue to be a subject of reflection, offering lessons on loyalty, integrity, and the delicate balance between power and morality. The legacy of Prince Mustafa is one that transcends time, stirring emotions and sparking debates among historians, scholars, and admirers of Ottoman history. Despite his tragic death, Mustafa's life remains a symbol of promise, integrity, and the costs of political intrigue, leaving behind a multifaceted legacy that continues to captivate both academics and the general public. Prince Mustafa's life was marked by qualities that set him apart from his contemporaries. Known for his charisma, bravery, and sense of justice, he was beloved by the Ottoman army and the general population. His popularity, particularly among the Janissaries, was a testament to his leadership qualities. Mustafa's rapport with the soldiers was unique. He was seen not only as a prince but also as a commander who understood and cared for the welfare of his men. This bond was so strong that even after his death, Mustafa was mourned as a hero whose potential remained unfulfilled. One of the most enduring aspects of Mustafa's legacy is the historical debate surrounding the circumstances of his execution. Historians continue to explore the role of Hürrem Sultan and Rustam Pasha in orchestrating his downfall. While some argue that Hürrem's ambitions and political maneuvering were the primary catalysts, others point to Sultan Suleiman's ultimate decision as a reflection of the Ottoman principle of preserving the state at all costs. This debate has fueled numerous historical works, novels, and artistic representations, each offering a different perspective on the events that led to Mustafa's death. Another dimension of his legacy lies in the reflection of Ottoman politics and governance. Mustafa's execution highlighted the complexities of succession within the empire and the lengths to which the ruling class would go to maintain stability. The principle of Nizam-i-Alem, order of the world, justified such actions, but Mustafa's case remains one of the most controversial examples of its application. It serves as a lens through which historians examine the delicate balance of power and the ethical dilemmas faced by rulers. Mustafa's death also brought to light the human cost of ambition and palace intrigue. For many, his story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and the manipulation that often accompanied Ottoman politics. His tragic end, orchestrated through deceit and false accusations, became a symbol of the darker side of the empire's governance. Despite his untimely demise, Mustafa's memory has endured in Ottoman folklore and cultural narratives. Songs and poems lamenting his death became a way for the people to express their grief and admiration for the fallen prince. His life and character were romanticized in popular tales, painting him as a noble and just leader who was wronged by the very system he sought to uphold. These cultural depictions have helped preserve his legacy as a figure of inspiration and resilience. In the realm of historical debate, Mustafa's story also raises questions about Sultan Suleiman's role as both a father and a ruler. While Suleiman is often remembered as the Magnificent for his achievements, Mustafa's execution is seen by some as a blemish on his legacy. Historians and biographers have analyzed Suleiman's actions, seeking to understand the emotional and political factors that led him to order the death of his beloved son. Suleiman's own writings, including his poetry, suggest that he was deeply affected by the decision, grappling with guilt and sorrow for the remainder of his life. Ultimately, Prince Mustafa's legacy is one of complexity and duality. He is remembered as a symbol of hope and potential, a prince who embodied the virtues of leadership and compassion. At the same time, his story serves as a reminder of the harsh realities of power and the sacrifices demanded by the pursuit of political stability. His life and death continue to resonate as a poignant chapter in Ottoman history, offering lessons on loyalty, ambition, and the enduring impact of human decisions on the course of history. The story of Prince Mustafa stands as a compelling chapter in the annals of Ottoman history, weaving together themes of ambition, loyalty, betrayal, and the relentless pursuit of power. His life was a testament to the virtues of leadership, bravery, and compassion. From his early years as a promising prince to his untimely and tragic death, Mustafa's journey reflects the complexities of an empire where personal relationships and political strategies often collided. Mustafa's character, deeply admired by the army and the Ottoman populace, showcased his potential to become a ruler who prioritized justice and fairness. However, his downfall, orchestrated by palace intrigue and sealed by Sultan Suleiman's fateful decision, reveals the darker side of governance in the Ottoman Empire. The principle of preserving the state at all costs, even through acts as tragic as Mustafa's execution, underscores the ethical dilemmas faced by rulers navigating the fragile balance of power. Beyond the political implications, Mustafa's story is also one of human emotion and familial tragedy. The enduring debates about Hürrem Sultan's influence, the motivations of Rustam Pasha, and Sultan Suleiman's internal conflict highlight the personal and political dimensions of his death. Suleiman's deep sorrow, expressed in his poetry, serves as a poignant reminder of the heavy burden borne by those in power. Prince Mustafa's legacy transcends his era, leaving behind lessons on leadership, the cost of ambition, and the human impact of political decisions. His life continues to inspire admiration and provoke reflection, symbolizing both the potential for greatness and the vulnerabilities inherent in power. As we look back on his story, Mustafa remains a figure of enduring significance, his legacy etched in the cultural and historical memory of the Ottoman Empire.